Failure was not an option for Kobe Bryant because in his mind, failure didn't exist. He once said that to sit with himself and admit he was a failure would be worse than death itself. That wasn't bravado. That was truth. The truth of a man who crafted his very existence around the idea that pain, suffering, and relentless work were not obstacles, but the air he breathed. Kobe wasn't built to lose. He wasn't built to bend. He was built to sharpen himself against the flames until even the flames feared being extinguished. That's why when conversations start about Michael Jordan and Allen Iverson, two immortals in their own right, Kobe's name always hovers like a shadow behind them. Jordan was the divine assassin. Iverson was the fearless rebel. But Kobe Bryant became something else entirely. A cold-blooded warrior who turned agony into art and obsession into a blueprint for greatness. On a team bus after yet another game winner, one of 9 that season, Kobe sat back with his teammates and casually declared he was better than Michael Jordan. The words stunned everyone. Better than Mike? To most players, that would sound absurd, even blasphemous. But Kobe wasn't boasting. He was stating what he believed in his bones. That relentless conviction, that unshakable certainty was what separated him. Jordan had the flu game. Iverson had the 2001 finals. But Kobe's career was an endless marathon of self-inflicted pain, where he played with injuries that should have broken him physically, mentally, and spiritually. Yet somehow they never did. Jordan's flu game became legend because for one night he pushed through misery to score 38 points. He woke up vomiting, unable to eat, but dragged himself onto the court and delivered. It was heroic, it was iconic, and it happened once. Iverson's 2001 run was more than one game. He dragged a team of role players into the finals while battling an injury list longer than most medical journals. Bruised tailbone, inflamed knee, sprained shoulder, hip problems. The Sixers had to hide his jersey to stop him from playing through agony. He was a warrior who simply refused to quit. But Kobe played an entire season with a completely torn ligament in his shooting hand. His injury report sounded like something doctors might use to train surgeons. Complete tear of the radial collateral ligament, avulsion fracture, plate injury at the MCP joint. His finger was hanging by willpower more than bone. And he refused surgery. Night after night, he taped it up, adjusted his mechanics, and kept playing. Not for a game, not for a series, but for a season. He didn't limp through it. He averaged 28 points, won an NBA Finals MVP, and treated the pain like breakfast. That's the difference. Jordan's sickness passed. Iverson's injuries healed. Kobe lived in pain. Pain was his companion, his normal, his proving ground. He welcomed it. He thrived in it. He weaponized it. What made Kobe terrifying wasn't just that he could score. It was how he scored. Imagine playing him one-on-one. Jordan would hit you with an elegant fadeaway jumper, impossible to block, perfect in execution. Iverson would shake you until you doubted the laws of physics themselves, breaking ankles and egos with crossovers that belonged in another dimension. But Kobe would beat you the same way over and over again until your soul cracked. He'd tell you exactly where he was going, point to the spot on the floor, then hit shot after shot with you draped all over him. He didn't just defeat you. He humiliated the idea that you could stop him. His game was obsession refined into cruelty. Critics compared him to Jordan endlessly, saying he copied MJ's moves, his fadeaway, his footwork. But Kobe wasn't just mimicking. He was enhancing. He took Jordan's mid-range artistry and built an entirely new toolbox on top of it. Perimeter footwork, post work, fakes, spins, counters. Kobe multiplied the assassin's skill set until it became something even Jordan never had to master because the game never demanded it of him. Jordan dominated one era and mastered it fully. Kobe dominated 3. In the brutal 90s, when hand-checking was legal and perimeter defense was legalized assault, he thrived. In the 2000s, when zones and help defense turned scoring into a riddle, he solved it. And in the 2010s, when pace and space opened the floor but defenders became smarter, he evolved again. Kobe was the rare constant across shifting realities. He didn't just survive eras, he bent them to his will. Numbers will try to trick you. Analysts throw playoff averages into the debate. Jordan at 33.4, Iverson at 29.7, Kobe at 25.6. The conclusion seems simple, but context exposes the lie. Kobe's 40-point playoff games came across entirely different versions of the league, against defenses designed in 3 different decades to stop him. Jordan's dominance was contained within his own time. Iverson's rebellion burned bright but brief. Kobe's fire burned through eras, through defenses that transformed around him, through rules that were designed to limit scorers like him, and still he delivered. And then there's the Mamba mentality. People call it an attitude, a motto, a slogan. But for Kobe, it was oxygen. Mamba mentality wasn't something he turned on when the playoffs started. It was his entire life. Waking at 4 a.m. every day for 2 decades, shooting until his fingers bled, refusing to accept weakness even when his body demanded mercy. It's why when his Achilles tendon snapped, the injury that ends most careers, he calmly walked to the free throw line, sank 2 shots, then walked off the floor under his own power. That moment told you everything about Kobe. Other legends played through pain. Kobe turned destruction into routine. Jordan had the triangle offense built to maximize him. Iverson had Larry Brown designing schemes around his chaos. Kobe could thrive in any system or in no system at all. With Phil Jackson's structure, he won 5 titles. With Mike D'Antoni's chaos, he still averaged nearly 30 a game in his mid-30s. In Byron Scott's non-existent scheme, he dropped 60 in his farewell. Systems didn't shape Kobe. Kobe shaped systems. Coaches were irrelevant. Game plans were irrelevant. What mattered was his will. Culturally, Iverson gave the NBA its soul. He brought cornrows, tattoos, and hip-hop into the mainstream, forcing the league to embrace authenticity. Jordan gave the NBA its empire, building a sneaker dynasty that turned basketball into global business. But Kobe gave the NBA its obsession, its religion of relentless self-improvement, its blueprint for killers. Every young star who wakes up before dawn to work out is following Kobe's ghost. Every player who refuses to sit with an injury is hearing Kobe's voice telling them to push further. Kobe institutionalized obsession. When you examine the clutch, the moments that define legacy, the numbers are damning for his critics. In playoff games within 5 points in the final minutes, Kobe shot 48%. Jordan shot 46%, Iverson 41%. And Kobe didn't just deliver with points. In Game 7 of the 2010 finals, he shot a miserable 6 for 24. Critics remember the misses, but they forget the 15 rebounds he grabbed with pure will, or the 10 points he scored in the fourth quarter when it mattered most. Winning wasn't always about numbers. For Kobe, winning was about refusing to bend when the game tried to break you. People fantasize about Kobe in today's NBA, with no hand-checking, with freedom of movement, with wide-open floors. But the fantasy isn't hard to imagine. We've seen it already. In 2006, with defenses allowed to brutalize him, he averaged 35.4 a game. In his mid-30s, with his body breaking down, he still averaged 27. If prime Kobe played today, 45 points a night wouldn't be hyperbole. It would be his reality. Remember, he once scored 81 points with Kwame Brown and Smush Parker as his running mates. He dropped 62 in 3 quarters and sat the 4th. In today's game, he would average whatever he felt like averaging. And then there's the ultimate proof of Kobe's inevitability, death itself. When Jordan retired, the league moved on. When Iverson left, the culture missed him but kept evolving. But when Kobe died in January 2020, the world stopped. Not basketball. Not sports. The world. Presidents, prime ministers, even the Pope mourned. Soccer players in Europe wore his number. Tennis players honored him. Fans across the globe cried like they'd lost a family member. Because Kobe wasn't just a player. He was inevitability made flesh. That's why in the dark corners of their basketball souls, even Jordan loyalists and Iverson diehards know the truth. Jordan chased rings and got 6. Iverson chased respect and earned it. But Kobe chased pain itself. He welcomed it, loved it, and used it as fuel. He turned obsession into a lifestyle, destruction into a home, and legacy into inevitability. Heroes are remembered. Legends never die. But Kobe Bryant became something else. He became the standard, the fire, the ghost that every player now chases in the darkness. He became inevitable,